In the last video, I told you that the core of critical thinking is the ability to create a pause between a stimulus and your response. I'll leave the link here for the last video and in the description as well. I mean, it sounds simple, but if it's so simple, then why is it so hard? Why is our first instinct to react, to get angry, to share that post, or to instantly believe the headline that makes us feel good? Why do we spend so much time just reacting? Well, the answer is that you are fighting basically over 100,000 years of evolution. You're fighting your own biology, folks. And here's the single most important thing to understand. Your brain is not a trust-seeking machine. It's a survival and efficiency machine. It evolved for two main purposes. One, to save energy, and two, to keep you alive from immediate threats. And in the modern world, well, the world we're in now, those two ancient priorities are the exact neurological reason you and I avoid critical thinking. So let's break this down, okay? See, your brain right now is using about 20% of all energy in your body. It's a power-hungry organ. And because of this, its number one priority is to save energy whenever possible. And it does this by creating mental shortcuts, or what we call heuristics. Think of it this way. Your brain has two settings, and psychologists call them System 1 and System 2. I just like to call them autopilot and manual. So your autopilot is System 1 thinking. It's fast, instinctive, emotional, and automatic. It's what you use to tie your shoes with, or drive a familiar route every day in your car, or feel an instant flash of anger at a headline. It's incredibly energy efficient. And your manual mode, well, that's System 2. This is your logical, deliberate, analytical brain. It's what you use to do a math problem, build a piece of furniture, or practice critical thinking. It is slow, difficult, and a caloric nightmare for the brain. So your brain hates being in manual mode. It wants to be on autopilot 99% of the time. And that pause I talked about in video 1, that is the moment you are forcing your brain to switch from autopilot to manual. It's a biological, let's say, tug of war. Your brain's default is to be lazy, and that's the first reason we avoid critical thinking. And the second reason is even more powerful. We're not just lazy, we're scared. Deep in your brain, you have a threat detection system. It's called the amygdala, and I've talked about this numerous times in other videos. 100,000 years ago, the amygdala, well, it was perfect. It saw a shadow in the grass, whatever that shadow might have been. It flooded your body with adrenaline and cortisol, and you ran before you even consciously knew what you were doing. It saved your life, practically. But here's the problem. Your amygdala, it's ancient. It can't tell the difference between a physical threat, like a lion in the grass, and an ideological threat, like a news story, a scientific finding, or a simple Facebook post that challenges your core beliefs and your identity. See, when you see a post from the other side, so to speak, that makes you furious, and your amygdala, well, it screams threat. And this triggers a physical chemical reaction called an amygdala hijack. See, blood flow is literally diverted away from your prefrontal cortex, that's the front part of your brain, which is your pause button, your manual mode, if you will, and that's sent to your reactive, emotional, autopilot brain, the amygdala. Your pause button basically goes offline, it just shuts down. This is the neurological reason why facts don't work on angry people. You cannot use logic on a person, and that includes yourself, who is neurologically in survival mode. You can't analyze when your brain is preparing for a fight. So what's the solution? How do we overcome it? So if we're fighting our own lazy, scared brains, what do? Well, you can't stop the hijack from happening, but you can learn to recognize it, shorten its duration, and re-engage your logical brain. And here are 3 practical steps to help you do that. One is name it to tame it, or metacognition. See, the moment you feel that hot feeling, that flash of anger, that defensiveness, that outrage, just name it. Your internal monologue should be something like, there it is, that's an amygdala hijack. My brain thinks it's under attack. This simple act of thinking about your thinking, it's called metacognition. And it's a cheat code. It forces your prefrontal cortex, your logical manual brain, to come back online and observe the situation. And 2, enforce the pause. This is the physical reset. An amygdala hijack is a physical response. Your heart is racing, your palms are sweaty, so use a physical solution. Put your phone down, stand up, walk out of the room. Take 1 conscious deep breath. This physical separation breaks the emotional loop. It gives your logical brain the 10 seconds it needs to catch up and take back control from your autopilot. And 3, the long-term fix, well, that's practice intellectual humility. This is the advanced move, and it's a topic we'll cover in detail later on in other videos. But the goal is to uncouple your identity from your ideas. So if you believe that you are your opinions, then any attack on your opinions feels like an attack on you. And your amygdala, what does it do? It reacts. But if you can learn to see your beliefs as just things I currently hold based on the evidence I have, then a new challenging idea isn't the threat, it's just new data. See, being wrong isn't a threat to your survival, folks. It's an opportunity to be more correct. So when you truly adopt this, the amygdala never gets the threat signal in the first place. So that's it. Your brain avoids critical thinking because it's a cognitive miser. It's lazy, and it has an amygdala hijack. It gets scared. Poor little thing. And your tools? Well, it's to name it to tame it, or name it to tame it, enforce the physical pause, and practice intellectual humility. All right, now that we know why our brains resist this work, we're ready to learn the first practical tools for analyzing an argument. How do we build a logical case from the ground up, and how do we spot ones that are basically built on sand that will crumble? That is the topic of our next video, my friend. Deductive versus inductive reasoning. So be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episode on critical thinking skills. And before you go, what I want to do is I want to hear from you. Comment below what's one topic or idea that you know triggers that amygdala hijack in you. I want to thank you for watching again and see you in the next video.